Marguerite Martin is one of a group of women golfers trying to change the rules. She has written letters to newspapers and encouraged women to speak out against the discrimination. So, how strongly does she feel about the way golf clubs are presently run?
Well, I feel very strongly about it because I think that in this day and age, any sort of discrimination is very wrong. But discrimination as on the grounds of sex is extremely invidious because sex is immutable. And we are discriminated against by virtue of what we are at birth. It doesn't matter whether you're a good golfer, bad golfer, whether you're rich or whether you're poor. You may never become a member of a golf club under the Golfing Union of Ireland laws.
Well, just taking your rule, Rule 9 of the Constitution by itself for a moment, do you think it discriminates against women?
Not really. I suppose if one might say if they did not have a vote, it discriminates against them, but they have all the facilities of clubs as other members have.
But an important facility for anybody in a club is to have the facility to influence the way in which the club is going to develop. And women are excluded from that because of the fact they can't vote or be on the committees that run all these clubs.
Well, again, I think that the ladies have the right in their own hands if they influence their men to change the rules of in their clubs. I would request that this rule be deleted from the Constitution of the Golfing Union of Ireland. I think we would be happy with that.
But at the same time, aren't they caught in a catch-22 position whereby you've just said it, that if they can influence their men to change the rule, because women are not in a position to directly change it themselves, they have to rely on men to do it for them.
Well, we've inherited this situation. I can't answer for that.
At first sight, the fight of women to be allowed to become full members of golf clubs may seem trivial, but the sense of injustice felt by many runs deep. For them, it's a matter of principle. They object to being discriminated against solely on the grounds of their sex. In many clubs, they are treated as second-class citizens, often refused entrance to men-only bars and allowed to use the playing facilities at times and dates fixed by men. They are excluded from decision-making within the club's power structure. In short, for women golfers, it's always a question of being caught in the rough. But few women are prepared to talk openly about how they feel. Most are nervous of upsetting the men within their club and thereby possibly losing some of their valuable playing time. Kitty Quinn and Betty Gallagher are two women who did agree to talk to us about their reaction to the infamous Rule 9.
Well, naturally, I feel quite strongly. I think it is patently discriminatory. After all, it is bad enough that there should be unwritten rules in clubs which preserve male dominance. But the fact that it is actually written down in the Constitution of the Golfing Union of Ireland is totally unjustifiable, certainly in this day and age.
But what kind of effect does it have on women within clubs, the fact that they're not allowed to become full members?
Well, that depends naturally on the club. And in my club, it doesn't have a great deal of effect. The main effect it has is that we have no say in the actual running of the club.
And do you feel that as well, Betty? Do you feel sort of left out of decision-making within a club?
Yes, to an extent I do. But it's a wider issue than that. I think that these rules were made in a day when women had a different role in society. Things have changed since then. Women didn't follow careers very much in those days. There have been so many changes since this rule was first written into the Constitution of the Golfing Union. It just needs examination and up-to-date thinking.
So what should be done now? What kind of pressure should be put on to try and change it, if you want to change?
Well, first of all, there has to be a will on the part of the people involved to look at the issue. They're not doing that at the moment. A lot of women are quite happy with their situation. A lot are not. And those who are not happy are not saying very much about it because they shy away from the subject because they feel that there would be possibly some backlash if they do talk about it.
So if you're saying possibly some backlash, are you saying, for example, Kitty, that men within a club, if women spoke out, might take some of their time away? Is there something like that might happen?
Well, hopefully it wouldn't, but it is always a possibility because that silly rule is there which allows them to do that sort of thing if they actually wish to do it.